Hey everybody, it's Shawn Jardine here from Corcoran Platinum Living in Scottsdale. And today we're going to have kind of a little treat hearing an interview that I recently did with my realtor friend Carrie Jonicus up in the Chicago area. She works with a lot of people who are retiring and leaving her area and coming to mine. So she had some questions for me about what it's like to live here and what kind of things are available for housing. So stay tuned and we're going to get started right now.
I'm here today with Shawn Jardine, and she is going to tell us all about retiring in Arizona. Shawn, can you start by first just introducing yourself, tell us what office you're with, and maybe a little bit about the areas that you serve?
Sure. I'm Shawn Jardine. I and have been in Arizona selling real estate for almost 8 years now. Before that, 25 years in Colorado. But just like a lot of people, decided I didn't like snow, and my kids grew up, so I moved to the Scottsdale area. I'm with Corcoran Platinum Living Realty in Scottsdale, but I do service the entire valley. Phoenix sits kind of in a valley between some mountains. And so you'll hear it referred to as the valley. The areas I serve are really, it's wide. Some days I'll drive one client through the whole valley, just trying to get them familiar with different neighborhoods. So lots of retirement areas: Scottsdale, Phoenix, Cave Creek, Carefree, you name it. I work there.
And what are the price ranges in those areas? How do they vary?
It can vary. The average price in Scottsdale is now about 630,000. But you can find condos still in the mid 200s and up. And then you can find a house for, $30 million. There's a wide range. If you go further out to the west, where some of our retirement communities are, you can find cute little homes in the 200s, brand new homes in some areas. I just sold one a few months ago for 331,000. That was adorable, 1,400 square feet and brand new, just built.
What do the HOA fees generally look like? I'm sure they vary also, but
It does. It depends on the amenities that you have. If you are in just a regular neighborhood in Scottsdale, you might not have any HOA. Same thing with Phoenix. If you get to an area that, for instance, there's an area called Winfield in North Scottsdale, and their HOA fees are going to be, I think they're 340, 350 a month. But it also includes, a very nice clubhouse with a pool, with, spa amenities, that kind of thing. So it just depends on what are the amenities of the community. Some are less, with less amenities. Your HOA might mean that, somebody's driving by to make sure you didn't paint your house purple. Or it might be that, you've got essentially a country club to hang out at.
sure, that's understandable. What do the taxes look like in some of those areas? Say a, you know, $350,000 home. What are the taxes looking like on that?
Well, it's going to depend on where you're at. In Scottsdale and in the Phoenix area as a whole, our taxes are much lower than other places. It just depends on, again, what are you paying for? If you're in Sun City, your taxes are pretty darn low because you don't have any schools. The rule is nobody can live in Sun City unless they're at least 55. So you're not paying for any schools. Their taxes on a property that's maybe 350, 400,000 might be $2,600 a year. Same thing in Scottsdale. Again, depending on what the area, and if it's got two HOAs, which can be common, you might have to pay tax on those two different areas. So, you might see on an $800,000 house, you might see $5,000 a year on taxes. So a lot is going to depend on the actual area that you're in, what the amenities are, but overall, as a whole, our taxes are very, very low as compared to other parts of the country.
Okay, that's good to know. And do you have a lot of 55 and older communities in your area?
Oh, there are quite a few to choose from. Some are brand new, lots of brand new ones. And then we have the original mother of all retirement communities, which is Sun City, which started back in the 60s and has grown from there. So we have Sun City, we have Sun City West, Sun City Grand, Sun City Festival, Pebble Creek, Victory at Verado. There are a lot of places to choose from for retirement communities.
That's wonderful. Gives lots of options, makes it easier for
Yes,
buyers. They can choose what
lots
works
of
for them.
choices, lots of choices.
Yeah, that's great. And what are some of the typical amenities that you might find in some of those associations or some of those retirement communities?
Well, as some of them, if they're a big planned retirement community, you're obviously going to have golf. That is big. This is the land of golf here. We have like 1.6 courses for every 10,000 people. So golf is kind of a central thing. You'll have tennis, pickleball. Most areas will have a really nice community center with a community pool and clubs to join. You know, if you're from Ohio, they'll have the Ohio Club where you can go hang out with people that came from where you came from. You'll have everything from ceramics to tennis and golf. You name it, you can find it in the various communities.
That's really cool that they actually have a club that is specific to an area that someone came from. That probably helps.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. If you want to connect, lots of people are maybe not ultra social, and so they need something to break the ice. And what better than to join the Ohio Club and go meet people that are from your city, maybe, or a neighboring city. It just there's a common bond. You also will see a lot of for sports fans, football especially. Different bars will have watch parties. So if you are a Denver Broncos fan, there's a very active Denver Broncos group that meets when the Broncos play the Cardinals. They will all get tickets and sit in the same section at the stadium. When they're not playing here, then they gather at the bar to watch on TV. So it gives you a little sense of home while you're kind of bridging the gap between there and here.
That's great. That's really great. I love that. How about the transportation out there? Is there a lot of traffic? Obviously, I'm sure that varies from area to area as it does here, but what does that look like where you are?
We do have traffic, but our traffic, I know you're in the Chicago area, you would laugh at what we call traffic. It's really not. And it does tend to be a little bit seasonal because we have a lot of winter visitors. And so that's just going to up the count of people and cars. But it's not bad. It's not like it's going to take you 2 hours to get somewhere. We are a car city, so we really don't have much in the way of public transportation. There's a little bit, and we do have a light rail system and that kind of thing, but it's really not that big of a deal. Valley-wide, the public transportation tends to be more in central Phoenix, going to downtown. But we do have some major roadways. The 101 loop goes all the way around the city for the most part, connects with the 202, then the 303. See a trend here? So you can get almost anywhere fairly quickly.
That's great. Yeah, I'm sure your traffic looks a little bit different
It is.
than
It's much
ours.
different than what you guys have.
Definitely. What would you say the best time of year to move? I'm sure there's always benefits to each part of the year, I'm sure, just here as well as there. But what is your opinion on what the best time to move?
The best time is today. Just get here. It's awesome. Some people feel like there are less homes to choose from in the summer if they come because the winter people go home. Other people feel like it's more competitive to come here in the winter because we do have less inventory and more people obviously here shopping. The best time is the time that's right for the actual person. it's always good, in my opinion. I came in summer just because my youngest son graduated from high school, and I immediately got in my car and got the heck out of the snowy area I was in. So it doesn't really matter. It's just varies on what season of life are you in, and what works for you.
Okay, that's great. That's pretty helpful. I appreciate the depth that you went in there. Can you just tell me a little bit about what you feel the first steps would be for someone who wants to relocate to your area? Would you schedule a phone interview with them to go over things? Would you try to set up an in-person meeting? What's your first steps if someone wants to
Well,
relocate?
the good news is that now that we've been in COVID, most people are pretty good with a Zoom consultation. In the past, I've just talked to people on the phone in advance. Now we can still do that, obviously, but sometimes people like to put a name with a face and get a feel for who they're talking with. So I can set up a Zoom consultation for 30 or 40 minutes just to get to know the people. What are their needs? Where are they coming from as far as square footage? What are they looking for? And then from there, schedule a house hunting trip to just come down and take a look around. Now, if you're looking at retirement communities, what I don't recommend is that you go online and sign up to spend 2 or 3 nights in the community to really get a feel. They'll provide you housing, and you can visit the clubhouse. I don't really care for that approach because it's like a bad timeshare presentation. They're going to suck you in and you're not going to get to see all the other areas. So what I do is when you arrive, I will show you a multitude of areas depending on your price range and what your needs are. And then you can decide what you like best. And maybe on the next visit that you make, we'll really hone in on 1 or 2 particular areas.
That's great. That's great. Well, you have given me so much information, and I know this is going to be super beneficial to anyone who is looking to relocate to Arizona. So thank you so much for your time today. I will put your information in the description box below. Also, at the end of this video, pop up with your information if anyone wants to reach out to contact you about relocating to Arizona. Thank you
That's
so
awesome.
much. Thank
My
you.
pleasure.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So if you're thinking of making a move from Chicago, or anywhere for that matter, to the Scottsdale, Phoenix area, please reach out. Let me know how I can help. I've got a link below in the comments to my Zoom meeting that you can schedule, or simply just give me a call at the number here on the screen below. I hope that we can be able to talk soon and that you'll enjoy some of my other videos up here on the screen. Thanks so much.